1. What's going on, folks? Welcome to 34 Questions. Tonight I have a very special guest. Mr. Jay Sanchez is in the building. How you doing, Jay?
I'm doing right, brother. How about you, man?
I'm doing cool, man. I'm doing cool. I told you off camera. I'm telling you again, man. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being open to going through this interview. So definitely appreciate it, man.
Oh yeah, man. It's a great opportunity, and I love what you're doing here, and I really appreciate it again. Thank you.
No problem, man. No problem. I like the little setup you got. You got the mood going on with the lights and everything.
Yeah, that's kind of like my thing now. I do like black light art, so like a lot of my art is like done through like black light. So yeah,
Shit. Yeah.
So I kind of just made like my room/office kind of studio setup. So yeah.
Yeah. Does that get kind of like weird, like always staring in the black light and then going into like regular light, or you got used to it?
I got used to it, but it is weird. It is weird. It's nothing like a strobe light. If you ever got hit with a strobe light, that is like the worst experience ever. I don't even keep strobe lights around just because of that. Like,
No, I feel you. I feel you. It gets so distracting. Like, yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Oh yeah.
For those who don't know the flow of the show, we do a few intro questions to set the tone. I got a little icebreaker for you. It's a one-word spelling bee. Feel free to participate. Feel free to not. It's up to you.
I don't mind.
I like the confidence. And then we jump into the main portion where you choose a number between 1 and 34, and we get the conversation rolling that way. Sound good, TJ?
Yeah, sounds great, man. Let's get this.
All right, man. All right. So my first question for you is, how have you been? For a lot of folks out there, it's the first time for us to meet. So tell me how you been, man. You've been going through it. You've been, doing well. How you been, man?
Oh yeah, man. I've been, doing as best as anybody can during like these times and stuff. But counting blessings every day is like usually been helping a lot. So, to anybody out there, do that. Count your blessings. Make sure all the positive around you. Keep the positive around you. But I feel like that really helps, especially in these times. So.
Yeah, man. It's been a year, right? We had a whole year of lockdown and quarantine. Do you think it's gonna end soon? How long you think it's gonna take? Huh?
See, it's true. That's like a whole political debate thing.
Yeah. We don't need to get political.
Yeah. No, but like in a short, like sweet thing, like if everybody does their part, you know what I'm saying? Like it'll be done. Like that's all I can say about that. So like.
For sure. You mind me asking how this whole past year has changed like your workflow? Was it the same? It was better business, worse business? How did it change for you?
So I actually, because of working from home, like I said, it's been a blessing. I've been able to like dip into like new styles of art and also like platforms. Because I used to draw on like Sharpie and just paper. And like that would take forever, like
yeah man.
And, like, so like perfection was a must on that. And then I was like, so I started going into like Procreate and Apple. So I just started branching out to different platforms, started doing spray paint, black art, and my fan base just started like picking up. So like I said, blessings all around. So
yeah, man, for sure. So like majority of this whole push, the black light and stuff, just happened like this past year, or had you been working up to it?
I've been working up to it. A lot of it has been like more like building my self-confidence, if you will. So like a lot of it, I felt like I had to like more like, just try new things and stop being like, in my comfort zone, if that, most people have like their own routine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you got a routine, you do the same thing in and out. And like now you gotta just start changing it up, and it's been helping, man. Like
No, I feel you, man. The time, the working from home time definitely. I mean, it switched lanes for me, man. I just started this thing in January after like 7 months of, kind of stewing in my head and, trying to be creative, and all of a sudden here I am. So I definitely know the importance of this past year. My second question for you, man, is what would you like your descendants to know about you? If you're going to be reaching down, 5 generations down the road, what would you want them to know about you?
Oh man, that's yeah. I actually started thinking about that also this past year, just because a lot of a lot of my descendants have been passing, just due to what's happening. So that just makes your mind kind of like go into like what if and like the next step. And so what I really kind of like want to now leave behind is kind of not more like a legacy, but just kind of like footsteps to like whether or not choose what you want to do, but see that it can be done. Like just try it. That's all you can really ask. If your descendants, just try. And
Yeah, man.
hopefully with you trying, what I mean, that's the next step for the next person to be even more stronger or have that knowledge passed down. So
I got you. What real quick? Wanted to ask you, when did you get started to in your art, in your craft? Was it like, is it a late bloomer type of deal, or were you been doing it?
so it's a funny story. So I didn't really like abide by the rules much when I was younger.
I got you.
So like I had like a lot of like time being grounded. So a lot of stuff in my room, no electronics, no friends. So I had like a whole bunch of comic books. So I started just like kind of like looking at the pages and like honestly just kind of mimicking like what I saw on paper. Like I didn't even really like how most people go through like the whole setup where they draw the circle, the face, and the eye line. I don't do that. Like I just
Yeah.
go straight for the outline and I just kind of just like make the image appear in my image. So
God damn. So
um,
you start with an
yeah.
outline on your draw. Oh my god, man.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
kind of start with like a focal point. Like I do like from like the eyes and like work my way out, or I just start from like somewhere where I know like where the paper meets like the top of like a hairline and just kind of faces down from there. And I just kind of like I kind of do what I do with life now and just kind of let it flow. Like I used to be a perfectionist and like, no, it's got to be this way or I got to do this today. No, man, just let it be. Like that's
Yeah,
it's simply
yeah.
told to us like every day, like, go with the flow, let it be. So
No, no. I mean, everybody has their style, and that's cool that you got a very unique style. Have you put any like videos, like those time lapse videos of you doing your thing, or not yet?
not yet. So that's something I want to branch out into. TikTok's one of them, YouTube, a lot of those things are like, and, a lot of it is just, me mentally, like I said, breaking free, just kind of going for it, doing new things. But as I learn, more art stuff, kind of branching out more into like the technical side as well. So learning to like maybe like record my own videos, edit, things of that nature. If not, kind of find like a team to just kind of like get that going. So
Yo, man, that's the key thing. Sometimes is a team. I don't know about you, but for me, man, I've tried to do a lot of things where, I thought I could figure it out on my own. I could put everything on my back and try to push through. But if you got a team, and like, the thing about it, it made it hard for me to build a team is it's hard to ask for help. I don't know if it's for you, but for me, it's hard to ask for help or try to take someone and tell them like, no, you should be spending your time on this thing that I'm spending my time on. And it's a difficult thing for me. So yeah, man, try to find those folks that believe and want to be a part of it, not just because you ask, but because out of their own kind of purpose, they're like, you know what, I need to do this. And I think you will. Who doesn't want to be a part of the creative world? So they're out there.
oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, and it is hard to ask for help. I mean, like, cause like you don't know like what line to cross, like what to ask for, like, cause it's kind of like it's new, so that's the thing. Like, it's like going into the unknown. Like, sometimes you just have to take that step, and like, if like you get a no, or like even if you get a maybe, that's still better than what you had in your hands prior. You know what I mean? Or you're
Yeah.
just back to like you're back to square one. You're back to like holding nothing, and like, okay, what's my next option? So I mean, that kind of like it's kind of like a gift and a curse kind of thing. But like, I think it is best to just kind of like sometimes just not swallow your pride, but just kind of like put your ego in the back burner and just say, hey, can you assist with this for like like I don't know how to do this, and it's okay. Like there's a lot of people running in the streets today that just kind of just whisking it. Just don't know. They're just on a whim, like. you know, but
Yeah.
that's all right. You know, as long as you got confidence that you're doing the right thing, I mean, I think that's all that's best in this time, you know. So,
Oh, we'll definitely get to that in the interview, man. My third question for you is, how would you like to be honored? If I was gonna do something tomorrow in honor of Jay Sanchez, what kind of act could I do to honor you, man?
oh man, huh? That is tough. Okay. Well, like, okay, so yeah, so no, actually, that's pretty easy. What I would like you to do is basically just whatever makes you smile and like happy. You know what I mean? Like, if it's just like, if you like to tap dance or sing, like, if you've never done it, do it. You know, just go out into the middle of a field, ain't nobody there, and do something, you know, that your heart desire, and just try it. And just be like, thank you. Just look up in the sky and say thank you. And that's it. You know, that's all I would ask for. So.
All right, man. Yeah, I got you. I'll you know what's great about me doing these things is like when I do find out how people want to be honored, it sticks in my mind, you know, and I can always go back to it and just be like, you know what, today this is what I'm gonna do. But yeah, that. Thank you for sharing. I got you. My last question of the intro is, how well do you know yourself? And if it's hard to put in words, you could do a scale from 1 to 10.
How well? So that is something I've been actually like dealing with too, along with these years. Cause I'm like, you know, sometimes you think you know who you are, but you start getting into like certain things. Like I actually been doing like not self-therapy, but going through like therapy on like YouTube, like certain videos of like letting go of like, you know, who you used to be, things like that. So like you said, like some people carry so much stuff on their back that they just, you know, need to let it go and say, hey, I need help. Somebody help me carry this, or help me get rid of what I'm carrying, because it's probably useless stuff, you know. So, but yeah, you feel like a lot freer from there. So I think that would be like the best way, you know, like just kind of just being out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was my problem, man. I was not out there. I was inside for a long time, even before quarantine. I never. You ask my college roommates, they're like, "And you was in the house all day, every day," and I'm all like, "Yeah, that's what I had to go through." I didn't realize the value of you know, being outside for a long time until recently. And you talked about letting go of your old self. I did something dramatic during quarantine, and I basically threw away all traces of myself from high school and before that. You know, I just kind of like let go of yearbooks. I let go of old letters and notes and everything. Kind of regret it, but I felt like that's what I needed to do, just to let go of the old me. But yeah, nah, I feel you, man.
Yeah, no, I actually did about the same. Like I went through a whole bunch of like even old clothing. Like I went through like some, you know, a bunch of changes in diet, things like that. Exercising a little bit more, not a lot. I'm not like, you know, going out there running marathons, but at least, you know, daily walks of like, you know, something like that to kind of keep the ticker going. But yeah, just like I got rid of a lot of like you know, old clothes that I liked, the shirts, because it like had like, you know, designs on it. But I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna get fat again. Let me just get rid of this. Like, what is it? What am I gonna do with this? Like, you know, stuff. So I just
Oh yeah.
started getting rid of like just a bunch of stuff too. So yeah, I know what you mean. It's like it makes you feel like you take a breather. Like, I feel good now that it's gone. You know, kind of like.
It's letting go, man. Letting go
Yeah.
feels great, you know? Yeah, we as people, I think we definitely remember stuff, and the more we remember that, the more weight we carry. So, and letting go, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
Oh yeah.
So we made it to the icebreaker portion, which is the one-word spelling bee.
Nice.
You had mentioned that you watched previous episodes, so let me know if this word, you know, you've seen before. Scout's
Okay.
honor. But your word is gonna be epilepsy.
So I have
Damn
seen
it! All
that
right.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I
No
just.
worries. No worries. I mean, I appreciate the honesty, man. I appreciate
Hey
the
man,
honesty.
that's my thing. I love to be honest. That's one thing about
Okay.
me.
For sure. For sure. All right. This next word then is legionnaire.
Legionnaire. All right, let's
Legionnaire.
try
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go with L E I. I'm sorry. LegionAire.
You missed one letter. You got one more chance.
Okay.
You want to hit?
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. There should be one of the letters is a double letter. So
Okay. Man, which one is it though?
I think you got it, man. I think you got it.
I want to go with two E's.
Two E's? You sure? So say it out loud one more time. Yeah.
Legionnaire. Oh man. I feel like you're like those game shows where you gotta phone somebody.
Eventually we'll get there. Yeah.
I know, right? All right, Legionnaire. All right, man. I'm gonna go with two I's and just.
Go ahead, just spell the whole thing. And then,
okay.
Yeah.
Legionnaire.
It was two N's. Yeah. It's all good, man. It's all good.
Hey, man, at least I try. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. And you didn't lose nothing. It ain't
exactly. I got
nothing
some
changed.
That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
I know the correct spelling now.
If there's one thing you can get from the show is to learn how to spell a word. But
there you go.
All right, man. We made it to the main portion. It's your chance to choose a number between 1 and 34, and we'll get the ball rolling from there. Go for it.
Cool. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget the numbers. So let's start with 26. And I'm going to go in blind because I didn't want to. I was just like, let me go in the unknown.
Yeah, man. 26 is, are you using your time wisely?
So if you would have asked me that a few years ago, I would have said no. But now I actually tried at least to do, if not like one project a day, or at least try to like dip into like reading books or meditating now, or like I said, going for like exercise if it's not like, because meditation could be many things. It can be, exercising, riding a bike, reading a book. It's not really just sitting there and going, you know what I mean? Like,
interesting,
like most people think so, but,
yeah.
And like I said, there's a lot of videos I've been just kind of just dipping in and like, but yeah, I just, I kind of want to like, not just like binge watch stuff, if that makes sense, because it'll be there later, like stuff is on DVDs and stuff is on, but life is not. So
and I just felt I felt attacked right there. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, man. No, like
I'm a binge watcher, bro. So
no, like I said, no attacks on nobody. I'm a binge watcher myself, but there are days where I'm just like, hey, I gotta get this done. But to each their own, like I said, but I'm not gonna lie, I binge watch certain shows like I'm trying to think one that I had to watch. I want to say Kubo on Netflix.
Oh shit! Yeah, that was a good movie, man. You talking about the paper machine? It was like origami that they made the whole movie out of.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of it. Yeah, but I was like, man, I was gonna be like, let me just watch part of it and like do something else, but nope, I stayed there and watched like the whole thing. I was like, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, man. You gotta see the making of if you haven't seen it before, but they do the whole.
I gotta see that.
Oh yeah, it's on YouTube. I think it took them like, the fact checked me later on, but I think it took them like 5+ years to make that whole movie because they kept.
Wow.
They did everything by hand. Yeah, man. But yeah.
I gotta see it now. Thanks.
Yeah, man. No worries. So, like, when did that change for you happen? When it was like, oh, I'm not using my time wisely, to like, nah, I gotta have more intention in my day,
So it really happened back when like it was more when like my mom passed, and it just kind of like snapped me like out of where like I felt like I was coasting through life, and like she was just like all of a sudden not there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, man.
And that just kind of like made me like look around, like like in life you're kind of like, it feels like you're like on a tunnel vision. Then you get to this point where like something stops you, and you just have to kind of take a look around and be like, is this where you want to be? like before the next person goes, or before, you know, yourself even goes. So that's just
Yeah.
kind of like what got me, kind of just like just snaps you right into it. But other than that, you know what I mean, that's just kind of what kind of gets you going. But yeah.
Bro, I think that's huge, and thank you for opening up about that. You know, like you were talking about feeling like coasting, and that moment kind of like snapping you into reality. My folks are pretty old. You know, they're not healthy all the time, and it's something that's always in the back of my head, man. Like, something happens, how would I deal with it? I'm not sure. I want to say that I'm gonna deal with it all right, but you know, I'm not gonna know until that point happens. You know, so yeah, no, that's heavy, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no man. And like I said, nobody's really ever prepared for it, because like I mean, no matter how prepared you are, like you're really not prepared for it. Like you can have all the paperwork and everything like ready for that date, kind of like you're setting up for like a wedding, but like even for a wedding, you never really, you know, you're never
Oh
really
yeah,
prepared for it. So
yeah, that I
because you
would for
never know
sure.
what's gonna happen, whether you know. So yeah, that's just kind of like how life is. So you just kind of like, you know, put yourself into perspective and be like, hey, you know, look around. Is this where you want to be? If not, let's make some changes to where you want to be, and then go from there. And then look around again once you made those changes. So
Yeah, man. Going back to what you said about like knowing yourself and how that changes. Same thing, you know, with me. My highest of highs, I feel like I know myself the most. Lowest of lows, I don't know myself at all. And that changes throughout my entire life, you know, our
oh
lives.
yeah.
Yeah,
And even
yeah,
like different things can change you, like watching a certain movie, or like even like I said, new events, like reading books. Like you'd be like, well, I didn't even know that, like this word we just read, right?
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, I was like, man, like, you know, but that just makes you think, like, okay, what else do I not know? So that just kind of makes that hunger go, like, you know, like a hungry hippo of your brain, almost, where you gotta like kind of yearn for more. So
Yeah, you get some new information. You want to find out more for sure. Um, so books. You talked about reading books. What are your favorites right now? Any knowledge you can drop on me from what you've read recently, or not recently,
oh
but at any
man.
point?
So yes, I actually started reading a book about dreams, because
Okay.
it's very, yeah. I was like, I saw it at a funny thing is I go to Five Below. They're $5 cheap books. I used to go to like the half price bookstores, but they started like closing them around here. So I was like, man,
Yeah.
let me go to what's open. So I went to Five Below, and there's like this book on dreams, and basically, if you don't even have dreams, which is sometimes my case, it means that you're not getting enough sleep, or you're not doing like a right diet or right exercise. So you just kind of gotta get that balance.
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it just kind of made me think. I was like, I gotta start balancing stuff out. So that kind of made me start balancing new things out in my life. Like I said, more exercising, more eating healthier. Again, also keeping the mind, you know, sharp with meditation, because a lot of people are quick to be emotional nowadays, and you just can't have that. You know what I mean? Like these are fragile lives we're handling. You know, like whether or not it's something you say, or you know, actions speak louder than words, kind of thing. So you know, you never know. You cut somebody off on purpose. What kind of day they were having before, and what will that trigger, kind of thing. You know, if that makes sense. But yeah, no,
Oh
I
yeah.
just kind of have to do like all that just to make, you know, a better tomorrow, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, did it say anything about like dreams having any like, I don't know, purpose, or because that's the thing, right? Like people are like, oh,
Yeah.
why do we focus on dreams? Like it's not something that we can. It's hard to
So
understand.
the cool thing about the book too is it kind of goes like into like what to prepare yourself like to sleep. Like you can take certain teas, like there's melatonin you can spray, or pills, melatonin, you know, gummies. Another crazy thing is like reading before you go to bed, kind of just like no electronics for like an hour, because of the blue screen. It keeps your mind active, so you want to like wind down an hour before bed, and that helps you dream. So that helps you kind of like your mind kind of like go into a REM state. Um, but it actually has a whole bunch of crazy things that I was like, man, I remember seeing one when I was younger, when I remember dreaming, where like you're falling, like where you fall and jolt out of bed.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, like I thought it was something bad, but no, it's kind of like explaining where you're like, you just don't know where you're at in life, so you just kind of like surprised at every moment. And I was like, that is kind of when it happens, kind of thing, you know. So you just start realizing things. But one cool thing about it, and I don't want to like give the whole book away, but I started keeping a journal next to my bed. So before you go to bed, write something down, kind of like what you want to see in your dream, and it'll kind of project. And then even after you had your dream, kind of write down after, like kind of on the same page, like before and after kind of thing, and just to see how they compare. It's just kind of fun. But lately I've been having, you know, kind of like little short story dreams, but they're still pretty cool. You know, it helps me with my art. So.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I'm the kind of person who has like, you know, feature length films in my dreams sometimes. And it's fun to remember, man. Like I like waking up and being like, oh shit, that was so sick. It doesn't happen every night, but when it does, it's just like I haven't done a dream journal. People tell me to do it all the time. I'm like, I don't know, man. I need to just get over my laziness of like waking up and like, oh, I need to write something down, you know. But I'll figure it out.
You're supposed to be to write first thing in the morning. I just woke up, man.
Exactly, man. Like I just hope 15 minutes later I can still remember it enough to write it down. Probably not the first thing I do, but you know, for sure.
And see, and that's where the meditation comes into play. So that like they come hand in hand about balance. So one is kind of like focusing your mind to do it, and then the other one is just kind of like not taking action, but just follow through. So there's like a 2-step program, and like a lot of people will be like, okay, yeah, I read the book, but if you don't do what's in the book, I mean, you see what I mean? So that's kind of like something I had to get over too, kind of like the asking for help thing. So I'm like, okay, I read all these books, but I ain't did nothing with it. So it's time to do, you know, something with it. So that's where I'm at in my life right now. So.
Put things into practice, right? Yeah.
Right.
I feel you, man. Go ahead and throw me another number.
All right, let's see here. Let's go with number 30.
30. Are you your own best friend or worst enemy?
So you can be both.
Yeah.
So
you can definitely be.
I am my own worst critic when it comes to like a lot of my artwork, but I tend to celebrate a lot more now. I used to be a lot more critical and like, you know, hard on myself, but I kind of be, you know, I'm just more like, you know, wherever like the paint lands, it lands, and just be okay with it kind of thing. So, yeah, I'm actually, you know, my best friend kind of thing now. So I used to be my worst enemy, but I feel like I'm my best friend. And I'm getting to know myself a little better. And you know, solitude is one thing I started doing, especially with, you know, what's happening. But yeah, a lot of more solitude helps you kind of figure out who you are, and you know what you like and what you don't like, and you know, and it helps you set up boundaries because they're necessary. Because you know, some people do overstep it, but you know, as long as you're okay with it, you're your own best friend, I think you'll be all right.
No doubt. Yeah, man, solitude is a crazy thing. I don't know if you heard that Jim Carrey quote, but he basically said that solitude can get addicting because you just realize you don't have to like change who you are or like try to please other people at all, and like that's just your state of being. And you know, being alone, that's when you can figure out who you are, you know, most of the time, because you see who you are when no one else is around. But nah, I just feel that I've spent a lot of time in solitude. I don't know about you, I grew up an only child, so it was a lot of time to myself. And maybe this is why I do what I do now, but
Oh, nice.
I know that feeling.
Oh, yeah, same.
Go ahead and throw me another number, man.
All right, man, let's go with number 13.
13. This one's kind of heavy, so you let me know if it's too hard, but how have you disappointed yourself?
That is a good question. So it is heavy, but like I said, I think now that I've been like discovering myself more, like a lot of these questions are like not as hard as I thought they would be, kind of thing. But I disappointed myself, like I said, wasting time. I had a lot of potential to do like a lot of my artwork and stuff sooner. But I just kind of just said, nah, it's not good enough, or, other people are better. And I kind of just compared myself and didn't allow myself to just kind of just be me. So now that, like I said, now that I'm like finding more about myself and, dabbling into new and different things, like just even knowing that I can do that is just, better than disappointing than what I used to be. So, but yeah, I disappointed myself with just wasting a lot of like time and potential with not even trying. Like I said, that's the only thing I want, like not only myself, but my heritage and my family to do is just kind of try.
Try, man. Try. You ever get that thing where people are like, "There's no try, it's just do."
Yeah.
It's like a Star Wars quote. Because people get mad at me anytime I'm saying I'm trying. It's because I don't think I got that confidence yet to say this is what I'm doing. It's just like I'm trying to do this right now. I'm not there at that level where I feel like, oh, this is who I am. So, but yeah, I know what you mean.
No, try is like a big in my vocabulary, but it's one of those along with like I can't, that I want to like remove completely on my vocabulary. But it is baby steps. Like you can't really just jump into the the water thinking you can swim unless you're a natural born swimmer. But eventually you're gonna drink some pool water and learn not to do that again. So
Oh, you're right. It's hard when like I don't think we can comprehend like how we're doing things. Like would you say you're still trying to be an artist, or are you an artist?
Oh no, for sure. I mean, I can say I'm the best artist in the world, but I mean, you have to believe it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you haven't tried at least every platform or see what you can do in it, you can't really say, you know what I mean? Like that you're the greatest. Because I've seen like just for example, Michael Jordan. He's done baseball. He's done, some people don't like it that he's done baseball. Some people don't like that he's done other sports, but does he care? No, because he wanted to try it. So, and I'm pretty sure he's not gonna go back to like most of them. But I mean, but again, you know what I mean? Like, but he at least got that experience of I did it. So
Yeah.
I think that's the best, just to have that experience. I think it's just all about having the in the moment, if you will. So.
No doubt. Go ahead and throw me another number, man.
All right, let's see here. Let's go with number 16.
16. So this one is someone told me I was appropriating indigenous people culture for this question, and I understand. I get why it could come off that way. The original question was, what is your spirit animal? But then since I kind of got some like pushback on that, are you familiar with Harry Potter? Like Patronus? I don't know if you know what a Patronus is, but
So yes, actually, I started watching a few of them because I had like I'm actually guilty of not watching the whole series.
I got you.
But I did catch a few of them. But yes, but yeah, tying with the spirit animal, I think is like that thing that shoots out the animals or something. I don't want to get like too technical. Okay.
No, you're right.
Okay. I was like, I don't know the name, but yes.
Yeah. So what would that animal be for you?
So I get a lot of two animals. I usually get, like, when I was younger, I was always called a chango. And what that breaks down to in Spanish is, well, from Spanish to English means monkey.
Okay.
And so a lot of it was kind of just how I howl and laugh at, like, really hysterical things.
Yeah.
And the other thing is just having, like, longer than usual arms that are, like, really long.
Oh, okay, for sure.
But yeah, so and then the other one is just was kind of like a wolf. So if I just go between the two, I feel like the monkey, because it was more playful, and that's just kind of how my spirit is. I'm more like playful, but you kind of mess with the monkey or their family or their habitat, and they kind of get tutorial, you know what I mean? So, and I think the wolf is the same way because they can, you know, be alone, swing alone on branches, and wolves can ride alone. But in a pack or like together, you know, look out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's some fierceness. So,
Alright,
I
for
kind of
sure.
go between the two. I mean, but I lean more towards a monkey because one, I have it tattooed on me, and two, because again, I just feel like that's something more like towards like my heritage and stuff like that. So
Yeah. So you got the monkey tattoo because of that
yeah,
nickname, or?
I actually, yeah, I got it on my arm. I don't know if you can see it
Oh
from
shit,
there,
yeah.
but
That's
it
what's
also
up,
goes like
man.
black light in the black light. But yeah, it's
Alright.
yeah, I had to get it because I mean, like everywhere I went, even growing up, like you kind of, I'm kind of one of those that like listens to the universe now, where like not only like complete strangers come up to you and say something, but like if somebody told you the same thing, you're like, I heard that from a complete stranger. So that those two should kind of like equally like be like, you should do it, you know, like
Mm.
or at least like I said, try, because you know a complete stranger's not really going to tell you something without, you know, I feel like something either like spiritually telling them or whispering them to tell it to you, because in that moment you just feel kind of like, what should I do? And then all of a sudden, like, boom, somebody just tells you something, and you're like, oh, I was just thinking about that. And so I just started listening to those, and that's why I just went with that.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Yeah, I mean, like, are you that kind of person to, as complete stranger, you know, you see somebody and then you just mention something out of the blue? Because not everybody likes to do that nowadays, I don't think.
No,
Like,
right.
yeah.
They feel like they're being attacked, and I don't know why, but no, yeah, I am that type of person to kind of, I mean, just because I'm always been in customer service, and I've always wanted to just know the unknown. Like I'm one to question everything. Like if I see someone's hair, I'm like, what is that color? Because I don't know what color that is, and maybe in the future I want to maybe color my hair that color, or you know, who knows, or you know, what kind of car is he driving? Like I didn't know those little T-Rexes. I didn't know what they were called when I first saw them. So, and some guy pulled up to, I worked at Verizon at the time. He pulled up, and my manager's like, where you going? I was like, I gotta ask this guy, like, what this is called, because it looks like it's from the future. Like this is the first time I've ever seen this. And he's like, well, let's go ask him. And so, you know, I thought I was gonna get in trouble, but no, he joined me. We went outside, we listened to some music, and it was a nice sunny day, and found out it was called a T-Rex, and it was
A
cool.
T-Rex
So
car? Is a car?
no, it's like a little motorbike. It's got two wheels in the
Uh,
front and like one in the back, but it's like a little space pod. I was like, it's amazing. And they're
oh,
fast. Like the guy took off down the freeway. Like it was amazing. Like
it's called T-Rex, huh? I mean,
yeah.
that's something I would get because I don't think I could ride motorcycles or be trusted on a
Oh yeah, that
motorcycle.
balance act.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
especially
man.
the traffic, man. Everybody's
Oh,
so, like I said, they're ready to run everyone off the road. Like that would be the worst thing to be on right now.
was it one of those things you could drive through traffic like a motorcycle, or now you'd be like in line?
No, I mean it has like the wheels are big enough to. It's kind of like that Batman bike where it's like fat wheeled, but it has two small wheels in the front. But it's enough to be like a fat bike. So,
Oh, okay. I got you.
but
I got you.
I think it would dash in between traffic and cars.
You seen the solo car? You heard of that?
No, I have not
It's
seen that yet.
it's a one-seater electric car where it's one wheel in front and then two wheels in the back. But I saw somebody driving it in the city one time, and then I yelled out. I was like, "What car is that?" You know, and then the guy was all like, "It's the solo car. Look it up." I'm like, "All right," but
Oh, man,
yeah,
I'm gonna write that down. I gotta look at that. So low.
solo car. I want to say it's like
Yeah,
10 G's or less, but you know,
that
it's
sounds
only what.
cool.
It's something to have it as in the collection, right? Like it's a mood car
Right.
where you kind of want to be on your own and do your own thing. That's how I took it. But yeah, looks sick. It looks sick. All right, man. Throw me another number.
All right, let's go with. I like the way 33 looks.
33. What is something people are surprised to learn about you?
Okay, so yes, I have what's known as, and I'm bad, and this is kind of like an oxymoron because I should know this. I have a photographic memory and it's known something. Um, and so I can, like, anything I see, I will be able to picture it later. So that's why I can draw something of just an outline, because I just see the outline. And so it's kind of like, if you know the comic book character Taskmaster, so anything he can, like a fighting style or something he can see, I can mimic. So I do the same with, like, I learned how to do nunchucks. I learned how to do how to draw. I learned how to change oil from watching YouTube videos. So I can watch a video, or if you show me something visually, I can duplicate it and or create it, you know, in a different way. But I once I do it, it's memorized. So I have like muscle memory, I have photographic memory. It's just, I'm like a printer, like a computer printer.
Dog, I'm jealous,
And
man. I'm jealous as hell right
man,
now.
see, people freak out when they hear that. They're like, "What? You could do what now?"
Yeah, man.
And that's why I'm like, why limit yourself by saying I can't when you don't know what you're capable of, kind of thing. So that's why I was, you know, surprised that most people are surprised at that. But yeah, that's kind of like my little gem.
That's dope. That's dope. Was that something like someone had to tell you you had, or you discovered it on your own? Like how did you become aware of that of that power?
So that's kind of how it came along. I kind of felt like one of like the X-Men growing, you know, and just figuring out their powers, just like blowing stuff up with their eyes on accident, you know, like.
Yeah.
And so I would see something, and it kind of started in shop class back in like school, like high school, where you had to take that class. And so I started seeing the shop teacher do something, and I was like, cut, what? Like, how did that come out so perfect? And everyone else is messing up. And so, and you know, and I just started to question things, and that's when I first started questioning things and looking at the, you know, some certain people. Like I would go and ask, like, "Hey, why are you not cutting a straight line?" And not to offend,
Sorry.
but like not to offend people. Yeah, you know, but
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Like I just kind of like not know my boundaries.
Yeah, no, I
And,
feel you.
but that's just kind of how I am. I just kind of like would just go and ask, offending or not, because I'm, you know, honestly, in the end of the day, are we really gonna see each other again unless we're like friends or family, or, you know, unless you want to. But you know, if you walk away, I'm not gonna know that answer because it lies within you. And if I don't get the courage enough to walk up to you as a strange person and say, "Hey, what kind of car is that?" You know, or yell it from across the street, or, you know what I mean? Like, but if you don't take that chance to risk, then yeah, man, like that's kind of like where you're at. So, you know, just in general with everyone, but that's just my hidden gem that I can do.
No, that's sick as hell, man. I mean, it's crazy for me to like come across people who have this extra power. I mean, I'm gonna call it a superpower, bro. But yeah. So like, so you have that, and I know you're not the only one, but you know, clearly I don't have it. So to me, it just blows my mind because it's like, damn, man, I wonder what that's like how to live that way, right? There's this, I don't know if you ever heard of this. I had met somebody on the bus from LA to SF, like going back and forth. But she had told me that when she hears music, she sees colors. And like,
Wow,
dude, that blew my mind too. I was like, what do you mean? And then she's like, she'll hear a note and like call it red or call it green.
See it.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
wow.
And she's like, yeah, I'm not the only one. Like, she was talking about it like, oh, I know there's other people there like me. And, you know, I'm not that different. Because you know, she was kind of being humble about it, too, you know, like trying to downplay it. Like, but still, though, I was just like, damn, man. how I never understood how. She doesn't understand how. It just happens for her. And so I looked into that more. And it is true that, like, I guess a lot of musicians or people who are inclined to music can visualize like the colors that come from notes, and in their mind it just connects. It's like an equation that just fits. But you know, I don't know if you ever heard of the 9 types of intelligence. You ever heard of that?
No, man.
So basically everyone's a genius in something. It's just that we have to figure out which one of the 9 that we are. Unfortunately,
Wow.
you know, school only teaches us like arithmetic and like book smarts, right? But that's only 1 out of the 9. You could be culinary, you could be like spatial, you could be like outdoorsy. It's these 9 types. I'll shoot it to you after later on, just so you could have
man,
it.
I would love to read that. That's amazing. I did not know
Yeah.
that. Thank you.
Yeah, man, no
That's
worries.
dope, man.
And there you go. You got your power too. You feel me? So
Yeah.
I'm
And
sure it's
see,
not
that's
your
how I
only
feel
one.
too. Cause like,
Yeah.
yeah, but see, that's it. Kind of like freaked me out because I had to like look it up in forums, and I was like, I can't be the only one. Like, like Highlander, like you can't be the only one. There has to be others like me. And so you go into like this quest of the unknown of just kind of searching and like this binge searching, if you will, all night
Yes.
to see if like if it's true or if it's not true. Because like a lot of stuff on the internet's hard to believe, but yeah, no, I started seeing that a lot of people have their own powers of their own, and like me, honestly, this is my first time, honestly, really like showing my face, even on like the web or like anything like that, and that's
Oh,
why
wow.
I was like, I have to do video because it's something I haven't done, so so I was like, I have to do it, but I had this thing where I just don't I wouldn't say like my face, but I just kind of, I don't see myself as like a person that just likes to be out in like the limelight or like up front in the cameras. I let my art speak for myself, but I just have to now be there because they have to go hand in hand. They have to know who is doing it and vice versa. What is inspiring me to be me. So yeah. Again, thank you for this. This
No,
great
man. I
honor,
mean,
man.
thank you for coming on. Like, I didn't know that was a thing, right? Like you're being open for the first time as far as showing your face, and much love. Thank you. And you could always be like, the Daft Punk of artistry, right? Just wear a crazy helmet or mask, and while you're doing your art, so it's like this whole like Banksy, right? Like no one knows who Banksy is. That still
Exactly.
a thing, or people know?
It could be. I started because there were so many of them saying like, this is Banksy, this is not. Like again, the internet just. And I was like, you know what? Let me just admire his art or her art, or the artist known as Banksy.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, let me just, because that's what makes it beautiful. Do you really want to know who's under the mask, or do you want to know the beauty that comes from that individual? So, I mean, that's just kind of one thing that you just want to like. That's how you find yourself, I guess. So,
Yeah.
So I just it's one of those, but
No doubt. Just a heads up, we have about 10-15 minutes left in the podcast.
Gotcha.
I want to thank you again for coming on. Thank you for sharing your stories, your perspective, and your energy, man. I think I enjoy the vibe, so much love.
Same here, man. Appreciate it.
For sure. Let's talk about a little bit something light. I hear you mentioning all this like comic book stuff. I am a fan as well. So like I'm like, okay, you mentioning Taskmaster, you mentioning this and that. Are you a DC or Marvel guy? Let me ask you that.
Ooh, so that's tough because there's so many characters that are identical. But I lean more to Marvel because DC's more surreal and like real life problems, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But Marvel allows you to be more out there. So like, I feel like it's more about imagination with Marvel because like there's certain things that you're just kind of like, that would never happen, but and you see stuff happen in DC that like, okay, I could see that happening kind of thing, but so and even like the series or movies kind of show the same, so
yeah
so I think I lean more towards Marvel.
Okay like what's your favorite, I guess it's hard to say. Oh yeah, who's your favorite like universe in the Marvel universe? You know how each character has
like
their
the
own
teams, and like I know what you mean, like Avengers or X-Men or like it's a tough one, man, but I feel like the X-Men calls out to me the most just because I basically more relate to it because my whole life I felt like not only an outcast but like a mutant, but a lot of people, see you as different. And so they're like, you're not within the normal 9 to 5 or the normal keep your hair one color or the normal, not having tattoos or just, not showing your individualism. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the same thing with like mutants. They had to hide who they were and just wear normal people clothes and not show their powers, so I kind of relate more to that because it's time to show more of like what you can do with what your powers, because you don't know if it can save lives or maybe even change lives, so that's just kind of one thing where if you're like always hiding, no one's going to know what you're capable of or whose life you can change or inspire to change in that nature. So
I got you. Wanted to ask you, what inspires your art? Like, how do you choose something to work on?
So a lot of it sometimes kind of just pops from other artists. I have a lot of artists that I kind of watch on Instagram and follow. So I'll see something that they'll draw, or I'll watch a show, and like my mind kind of does. I kind of feel like I'm like the Willy Wonka of art, if anything, because like I'll insert all this like comedy movies and like funny skits or memes, and all of a sudden I can like make an art come out of the other end, but it's combined with different styles, or it always looks like a comic book / pop art. So, but it has something modern, or it'll have something that'll make you think or want to go buy something or drink something. So
Okay.
yeah, I just like my art to make you think. So that's just basically what the style I go by.
Okay.
It inspires.
For sure. Where do you envision art taking you? Like, you want to be in galleries? Do you want to kind of do things from your house? And so where do you see it taking you?
So that's tough, but lately it used to be where I just had like a single-minded, where I just wanted to do t-shirts and just that. But lately over the years, I've been seeing that I can physically make artwork and take it to like shows and like galleries. So I want to do like a whole platform, more like a not only like a corporation where we can do murals, set up shops, displays for photo shoots, shirts, tattoo designs. I mean, you name it. But I want to collaborate like a team of just a bunch of artists in one warehouse. Kind of, I don't know if you remember the Fantasy Factory where Rob Dyrdek had like all those. That was cool. Like that was.
I remember.
Yeah, like you can't help but smile. Like even like thinking of what episode. Like who would not want to have that as like a as an experience? So that's where I want to see like the future of what I'm creating now, or like the foundation that I'm laying now to either evolve into or become in the future. So
For sure, man. Yeah, that Fantasy Factory is like a dream come true for any creative, I think, because like, man, you just got the space to do activities, right? Like from Step Brothers. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Got more room. The bunk beds on top. Let's go. Somebody gonna get hurt, but you'll be all right.
All right, man. So we've reached the concluding portion of the podcast, and this next question is going to be coming from the previous guest, because I've been trying to find a way to connect the guests that come on, and so this one is from Mike D. Shout out Mike D for this question. You kind of talked about a little bit about it, but if you need to repeat anything, feel free. This question is, what has been your biggest struggle and your biggest victory?
Gotcha. I love that. So my biggest trouble actually has been myself. I put a lot of roadblocks and a lot of things in my way, and it's simple things, and you make it into like this mountain. Like they say, you make a mountain out of a molehill, and you really do, because all you can really do is, you're so focused on this molehill or mountain, and you can easily kind of like look over here and see people wanting to help you, but you're so focused here that you think you're alone, but there's like a line of people ready to help you. Or so that's just kind of been my what I suffer with a lot, and my biggest victory is again, step by step, trying to overcome those hurdles. And again, victories like this, showing my face, or putting my art out there, because I can't sell my art from my house. You know what I mean? Like nobody will know if it's hanging in my walls, how can it be in your house? You know what I mean? So I need to take that leap of faith and just go out there and, you know, be known. And that's
Yeah.
just that's my victory right now. So to lay that foundation, so you know, everyone else who comes after me can not only admire it but just enjoy, you know, what we've made, you know, as whoever else in the family is in that same path of, you know, creating something and, you know, freeing everybody kind of that 9 to 5 matrix kind of, you know, reality. Let them know that there are other lifestyles you can live by being just yourself. So, you know.
I hear you. I hear you. Um, my second question for you is, what is the greatest lesson you've learned in your life thus far?
Oh wow. Okay. So yes. So listening is, I think, the ultimate hurdle I've gotten over. I was really hard-headed, and I would think I knew everything, and I think that a lot of people are guilty of that. But but
Same
again,
here.
yeah.
I
But
am like
again,
that.
there's that ego, like, you know, you're just like you're 100% know you're right, you know, but like you don't know the facts, you know, but you think so much that you know you're right that you blind yourself of the facts that people are giving you. So yeah, listening is, you know, I take listening now, I just instantly just be quiet as someone's talking and just take it all in. Because I used to double dutch and, you know, ready to answer everything, but no, I'm just more zen, back away, and like, you know, like, say what you have to say, and then I'll say my part. And if you want to jump in on my part, I'll just start off where I left off. But
No, I know what you mean. Like, you notice some people do want to dominate a conversation or get their 2 cents in first, and you just gotta be like, all right, go ahead. Like, take the lead. It's all good. But I do notice that some people can be like that. Not like that. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. It's just different styles
no.
and different flavors for sure. Um, all right, man. Oh yeah, this is the part where you do any plugs that you might have. Where can people support you? Where can people find your art?
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, man. You can actually find me on Instagram. I have a Mr. Infamous 24 on Instagram. Has a link to my Facebook. Also has a link to my Snapchat on there as well, for like behind the scenes kind of stuff. And then hopefully soon, I'm saving up to get a printer. I already have a heat press, so you know, next thing would be doing my own designs, because I do graphic designs as well. So I want to put those images that are, you know, onto shirts, and then start, you know, getting them out there worldwide, and, you know, seeing smiles hashtag across the world, you know. And eventually I want to do enough to where I can start like one design for like helping out, you know, those in need. So I have a few already starting, because my mom, you know, is Puerto Rican, my dad's Mexican, so I know a lot of those countries are having like issues after the hurricanes and wildfires and whatnot. So, you know, especially with the cartels in Mexico. But on the lighter note, you know, I'm trying to get you know, charities and stuff like that to help out, because a lot of those places still don't have water. So a lot of proceeds and sales from those shirts and designs will go, you know, to help them. And again, to, you know, kind of show people out there that it's okay to help, you know, those in need, and not expect anything back, because you never know what the universe will bring you later on. So just kind of do your best, you know what I mean? Just do good, even if it's given a penny. Just don't expect nothing back, because you'll get it back tenfold. So.
No doubt, no doubt. So there's no online store yet. Like, I can't just go visit a website for me to purchase some of your works. Not yet.
No, not yet, because I've been struggling with a lot of like taking pictures, and, you know, again, trying to get like the perfect everything. And I just need to like be, you know, again, my own worst enemy, and just be like, look, it's good enough. Just put it out there because it's ready to take home. So that's my thing. I want to get it as fast as possible, but enough to where I don't give you something that's not, you know, quality that I wouldn't hang myself in my house. So
No doubt, no doubt. And my last question for you, man, is what would you like to ask the next person on the podcast?
Oh, that's a good one. Okay. Yeah, so what I normally would ask people is, how would you like to influence someone in your family by what you're doing? Like, how would you, like, how would you envision what you're doing to influence someone in your family and just see them like take an apprenticeship of what you're doing and just kind of making it their own? And so that's kind of what I would ask them. So.
I mean, that's a great question. And, I feel you on, a little that specificity of being, in your family,
Yeah,
So
just because like a lot of my nephews and a lot of my cousins I've seen now, again, like I said, I was like not in a dark place, but I was just kind of to myself and felt like I shouldn't reach out to anyone in my family or even friends, things like that. And it happens, but I was trying to find out, I have a cousin who's a tattoo artist. I have a cousin who's a rapper. I have a cousin, you know what I mean? Like all, a bass player, a father of two, like just like, it's just amazing how, and they're still having like their own businesses, welders, things like that. And, a lot of them say, that my artwork inspired them. And I'm like, man, honestly, a lot of your stuff that y'all are doing are inspiring me. So it's like a kind of like a connection, like a known unknown without even knowing that was happening. And that's just kind of like, a lot of people don't know that, like, because you do stuff to kind of just do it, but you don't know that you're inspiring others as you do it. So that's kind of like a something to keep in the back of your mind when you do things, because that does help you make the best of your work, if that makes sense.
Yeah, you feed off the energy of other people. Like the energy just flowing with everybody, and nothing great is accomplished alone. That's one of the quotes that always stick in my head. But yeah, so if you're getting that energy and that inspiration from family, and like you said, you're giving it to them too, but nothing's ever being said, right? It's just like, yeah. Oh shit. Like, I'm glad we could talk about it after however long. Yeah, on this podcast, that's one of the experiences I had, is I had reached out to a lot of my nieces and nephews who are a lot younger than me. Not a lot, maybe like 12, 14 years or something. But I grew up without really reaching out to them, because they were kids. And then now at this point, I'm in my 30s, they're reaching their 20s. It's been great for me to be able to reach out to them and be like, hey, what have you been up to? What have you been thinking? And first thing I do is apologize, man. I'm just like, I'm sorry I haven't been there. I don't want to just act like, oh, we're super close now, but this is just like the first step into building those relationships sometimes. So yeah, man, I'm all for it. Gotta build those ties with family for sure.
Oh yeah, man, it's the best feeling too, because it's almost like a sleepover, but like you're awake, if that makes sense. Like it's just so warm that it's just like, I don't know how to put it, but
no, I like that, man. It's like a sleepover, but yeah, but you're awake. Those are some of the best memories, right? Those sleepovers for sure. Yeah. But for sure, man. We reached the end of the podcast. Wanted to say thank you to everybody out there watching and listening. Thank you again, Jay, for stopping by.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No worries. I'm still trying to figure out my signature send off. So we'll stop it right